Why, hello there, my dearest sinners, and welcome back to another sermon of Yap. You know the drill by now. We do a lot of yapping here. I'd like to welcome you all. It's finally Thursday. You know what that means. I mean serpent. Ah, God. It's been a long week. It's not over yet, but it's almost there. It's been a long week. And holy shit. It's been a trip. I'd just like to quickly say a quick thank you, by the way, to Kelsia2560 for the kind follow, by the way. Very kind of you for doing so. And welcome you to the many sinners. Oh. But yes, so today we have a few things to talk about, don't we? Now you may be wondering, those of you on the Discord, I mentioned about something different coming next week. Well, that I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to do a lore video next week, and the reason is simple. I want to try something new. I want to experiment, see how I feel about something. And if I like it, then hey, great. We'll do that. That's my plan, anyway. Speaking of plans, let me just quickly make the phone do the shushing so it doesn't disturb me midstream, like it always normally does. Right, there we are. So, what is this thing going to do? I'm not going to tell you. Yes, I'm going to let you discover it for yourself. But, with that being said, on to today's conversation. And it's been a bit of a week, hasn't it? We've had the whole, well, I don't know if it was this week or last week, but it feels like it wasn't that long ago. We had the entire fiasco around Lunchley, and a very, I'll call it tragic decline. I used to rather like KSI's content, I'll be honest. I did. I used to like his stuff. I thought it was alright. I thought it was cool enough. But, don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. Money and ego is what got to him. Hold on to that topic of ego, by the way. I'll address it another time, but I want to get more into that at some point. But man declined faster than his hairline. Seriously. He made a bigger mistake than that forehead. And all snubs aside, it's just kind of sad. It's genuinely kind of sad to see that, you know, the way he's gone. It's kind of sad to see that, you know, he's just, I don't know. It just isn't the same creator. It's a real, genuine tragedy to me. And I think to myself, well, what happened? What the hell happened to him? Because, well, he kind of just, I don't know, he changed in a really bad way. I mean, the company he's keeping is, well, a sociopath. Not medically speaking, but, I mean, turns his hospital room with his wife and child's biggest moment into a ad. You know, the Japan forest thing, you know? I mean, we're not forgetting about that, nor should anyone. Anyone willing to film a dead body doesn't belong on a platform, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna put it out there. Not very bold words, everyone else thinking the same. If your, you know, mental age is, you know, double digits up. Even single digits, to some extent. Like, come on. Come the fuck on. We can do better than a piece of trash like that, can't we? And then Mr. Beast, who went from the internet's best boy to public enemy number 2. Logan Paul still exists. and somehow is worse. Though KSI has managed to place himself right at the top of the pillar of stupid, that is their trio. Because whereas one of them has made one really cringy, shitty response video, one has been quiet and used just at best AI responses because I think Mr. Beast knows how to not engage with the mob. KSI has found something that wasn't even bait, nibbled on it, spat it out, and then has spent the last week crying about it like a baby. And I'm sorry. It's pathetic. It's utterly pathetic. And I mean, come on, man. You were supposed to be better than this, right? You're supposed to be better. So what the hell happened? Well, someone's very easily wounded pride was wounded. You know? God forbid someone points out that, let's be honest, this is just a way of getting rid of unused stock. Because it probably is. Because those products of theirs are a little overrated. You know. And here's the thing as well, you have to realise. It's a really difficult thing to get people to change what energy drink they prefer. And I see Prime in the stores, right? And the shelves are always full. The bargain bins are always full. I've rarely seen them empty. Because they were a fad. The problem is, you built your brand off a fad. And, you know, that's great and all when you're a content creator and you keep changing up things, keep making new things, right? That's great. That's fantastic. Problem. Physical products want to last a bit longer than 1 week. And your Prime didn't last very long. Now no one's buying it. Feastables, I've heard mixed things. I've heard a lot of people not like it though. So, what's the plan? Well, you take one thing that isn't selling well, another thing that's not selling that well either, and you put them into a box. Add a little extra thing, and go, hey, Lunchly's made $1 billion plus. Great. I think there might be hundreds of millions. Regardless, it's a big lot of money. That, you know, who wouldn't want that, right? So, of course, they went and got it, didn't they? Well, I don't know when if they've released it yet. I hear people say they can't find it. I don't know if it's been released. I've not kept up with that part of the news. The bit of the news cycle I've kept up with is watching the moulding of billionaires as one random Minecraft YouTuber who's been out of the game for a while and, most importantly, isn't a fucking monster like half the other ones. Good old Dan TDM. You know how happy I am to hear that he's not a terrible person, that he's just a normal dude, he's just a cool dude? That's really nice. I used to watch him. I don't watch as much Minecraft content nowadays, so not my taste anymore, but I used to watch him a lot. And it pleases me to know that someone I used to watch hasn't become a fucking monster, unlike half of the other ones. Holy shit, what was up with that community? What was up with them? I'm not saying we're perfect over here. God, no. I can name many VTubers who are really bad people who... And most of them, thankfully, are gone. Some of them have come back, regrettably. But not quite as... Well, not many as bad as half those Minecraft YouTubers. But Dan DDM, he's a good boy. He's a good lad. And he just turned around and asked what the hell happened to YouTubers. What happened to it? And he's right. It's just a corporate shill. What was it Jacksepticeye said once? Mr. Beast ruined YouTube. He's fucking right, by the way. He's right. Because it's so corporatized now, and he's a big reason why. And YouTube promotes the fuck out of him. The only way YouTube isn't going to promote him is if he does something really, really stupid. Like, so stupid it hurts their bottom line. Though, if anything Dogpack said about him is true, well, rip. So, yeah, that's been a little entertainment result to watch a bunch of billionaires cry at one Minecraft YouTuber pointing out the obvious fact. I've never known someone being so incapable of just reading criticism and just going and move on. Like, I've heard it being one guide, but that's something else. That really is something else. Be one guide to that extreme. Hey Judas buddy, welcome. How you doing? I was just talking about the joys I've been watching this week of watching a balding KSI slowly go mad over one comment on Twitter. I say balding. His hairline's been receding for a long time. I do wonder at some point where he's going to get the toupee or something, you know. No, I'm a little chuckle at that. No one is going to beat that. I know. I've never seen someone just, you know, waltz in, just go, here's my take, leave, no further responses, and cause such a ruckus. I drink to thee, Mr. TDM. I do have a little drink to thee. Exactly. And the thing is, right, like, he's not, like, done anything wrong, has he? As far as, like, compared to every other creator, well, not every other creator, but compared to a lot of creators that have been in his field, in particular the Minecraft community, there's a reason it's got a reputation almost as bad as the Super Smash community. Almost as bad. There are many jokes about that a lot, but, like, I just love how he just waltzes on in and just, he doesn't even say anything insulting to them. He just asks, what happened? Where did the fun go? And I swear Jacksepticeye said something very similar a bit ago, where he turned around and said, where did the fun go? And basically blamed Mr. Beast for it, but they're both fucking right, I think, personally. I think you've got the likes of, I mean, let's be honest, Logan Paul belongs nowhere except in a mental asylum, a prison cell, the Japanese one most likely, if he ever goes back there, or honestly just anywhere that we don't have to look at him. If anything, I hope he somehow accepts Elon Musk's proposal to go to Mars. Oh yeah, to be fair, when Jacksepticeye said that, like, in a, like, lie detector thing, Mr. Beast ruined YouTube, a lot of people were like, kinda. And I think a lot more people now are like, yeah. Like, I'm not saying everything Dogpack's claimed is true. I think Dogpack is milking this a little bit. But what I will say is it wouldn't shock me if a lot of it was true. There's something like I want to believe that old Beastie Boy over there is not a bad person because all the good things he's done with that money. But there's a small part of me that just thinks, was that all just to, like, clear a guilty conscience? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm completely wrong. But, like, you know what I mean? When you get so rich and powerful, do you think sometimes people just spend money on those who are less fortunate than them in an attempt to feel better about what they've done? Or, like, things they've, like, not done, or just as, like, some kind of self-aggrandizement. I want to believe none of that's true. I want to believe it was genuine out of, like, goodness, but God, sometimes I just wonder, man. I wonder. Like, and then KSI is kind of just tragic, isn't it? It's like, he went from being, like, the UK's sort of, like, most, like, I don't know, one of the best YouTubers the UK had to offer, to just, probably about the way the rich people think it's hard to view. Yeah, it does. It does make you wonder it, doesn't it? Like, I've said a few times, if this whole thing I'm doing now, if this streaming thing takes off in any kind of way, I want people to hold me accountable. I want to hold myself accountable. I don't want... If I do somehow find success, I don't want it to change me in bad ways. If it makes me more confident, fine. But if it makes me cocky or makes me like a bad person, then I'd like to hope someone would tell me first before I went too far, if I didn't notice it myself. Like, I ain't close to these people, but I'd like to hope that I'd have some moral fiber left if I ever did get even a taste of it. Hopefully it does become... Hopefully, man. Oh, thank you. That was very kind of you, sir. Oh, no, I'm hoping so, man. I'm hoping so. I'm trying. I'm trying things. Where I can. Might have introduced myself to a few lovely people on Reddit recently. Although, concerningly, quite a few of them thought my Halo was more fluid. I think you can guess what kind of fluid they thought it was for a second. I'm like, oh, okay. But, yeah, no, thank you. I'm hoping so, bud. I'm hoping so. That's the plan. I know, right? When asked what's the first thing they see, man says, is that Halo made out of? I'm like, it's energy. It's just energy, my friend. It's not physical. It's okay. It is not a Coom Halo. It's not the Com Halo. Although, I will say, just to quickly jump on that, one thing that was quite educational from doing that post, actually, is I got a lot of interesting comments on what things people noticed, and I was a bit surprised. For example, the wings on my hips, you don't see them too often because of where I tend to put myself, but if I just slide myself up a little bit. Like, you know, people were like, hey, those look really cool. I'm like, oh shit, well, like, I like them as well. And I think about that sort of stuff. I'm like, well, if I get any, like, outfits later down the road, I'm going to make sure I incorporate those still. Because, like, those are things people look at. Obviously the wings, the halo, the eyes, you know, various things. But it's interesting what stuff was picked up. And what stuff's like, I could change and someone might not notice, but whereas if I change those things, someone would notice. I don't know, it's interesting to me. You know. I got some pretty detailed answers in some cases, so it was actually a very educational thing. It also did surprisingly well. I'm not very good at posting to Reddit, but you know, people from Reddit joining, they will be looking. Well, that is true. They'll be looking for thighs. I did see a few thigh enjoyers. And a few, of course, staring at my fucking rack, of course. I did have to ask a man, what colour are my eyes? And I quote, his response was, eye colour. ... I know where you're looking anyway. I know where those eyes will go. I did like that. Who was it who did like, was it Fillion or Kason or somebody did like a thing where you can click on the screen and it would show where you're clicking? I need one of them every so often. Just like, where are they looking? Where are they clicking? I've got eye tracker, but for the viewers. If that would be a nightmarish thing to try and set up. It'd be funny as fuck though. Oh god, eye tracker. There's a oh god, eye tracker challenge. One of these days, maybe. God, I'd be absolutely done for if it was Vtuber clips though. Jesus. Jesus. Especially some people. I see a clip of Ilara, I'm done for. I'm done for. Excuse me. I also found out recently there is a term in Japanese for what I do, being a guy who's a female model. I don't know if I can find the person who had it, but I did actually find the term, which I was pleasantly surprised was actually a thing. I suppose only in Japan they did come up with such a thing. So yes, I can officially label myself now. And we all like good labels, don't we? Problem is I can't fucking find the post. Actually, no, I can't find the post. Boom, there we go. What was it called now? I cannot pronounce that. Language have a term. That is true. That is true. There are many things that English don't have a term for. So that, however you want to pronounce that, that is apparently what I am. Apparently that is the term for it. So, yes, we have a label now. It can be labelled in, at least in Japanese. So, yeah. There's a new term for you. But I'm surprised to see how many other streamers do what I do. Honestly, that was weirdly surprising. It's a good thing, though. At least means I'm not the only one. Exactly. Expand that knowledge. Always got to expand. But in the right way. You can't expand like in a pyrocynical way, otherwise you'll explode. Or he'll commission artwork of you. One or the other. I'm sorry. I'm popping strays. It's fine. He's used to it. Oh, are we saying stop to the pyrocynical meme? Oh, tickling my throat a bit. That. Goddamn Nightbot. I'm trying to remind people there, are we? Jesus. It's okay. Nightbot will be quiet for an hour. Oh. Tell you what, I was almost a little late. I won't lie. Waited an ungodly amount of time for that fucking bus. And I mean ungodly amount of time. Like, holy shit. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Ah. He's already been taken to heaven. Click, click. No. Exactly. If you too want to be like Judison, plugged into Heaven OS, where you get to wake up to all the best things in life, don't mind the fact that everything is completely artificial, and if the massive server that powers Heaven OS was to ever turn off for some reason, well, it's either you wake up or brain damage. Yes, Judas, you will wake up with your head firmly snugged between Lapland's thighs. Or, thighs of light choosing. Why would Lappy's thighs the first? I am deranged. I blame the very minute amount of booze I've drank. Like, not even enough to tickle me. We do be a little cooked around here. The brain damage. It's fine. I like to think it's being a VTuber. It invokes brain damage on a monumental scale. In different ways. It's fine. If I start like having toggles where I put you on a leash and call you a good boy or something, then you know I've gone too far. That's how you know things have gone too far. It's one of those kind of angels. That would be fine. I don't think I'm going to go with lewd tube anytime soon. Don't worry. I'll be fair. I probably wouldn't have an outfit more revealing than this anyway. I tend to like a less is more approach. I know it's a bit against the grain, but listen, Twitch ain't gonna have a reason to ban me, okay? I'm going to be more covered than most streamers. They ain't gonna have a reason to ban me for attire, right? That attire's gonna be classy. The closest thing, right, to tarty I get, right? This is as tarty as you'll get with me, is if I do this. This is as tarty as it gets. And this is, like, pretty tame by, like, most people's standards. But this is as tarty as it gets. But, I don't think this on. Besides, it's cold. Not that I feel it, but it's cold. Huh. I just... Really? Best views on something? Really? Let's nope. It's a representation of art. exactly. So I did just see some fucking ban evading bots pop up briefly there. Just to do those. But yes, indeed. I tend to keep things nice and classy. That's artful, a tasteful amount of skin. Like my last model, the most skin was, hands and thighs. As I say, a tasteful amount. I've just got a bit of thigh on show, it's important. It's important to have the absolute territory, for all to see. Thick thighs do indeed save lives, so, And a tasteful amount of cleavage, a tasteful amount. Nothing too much, but a tasteful amount. But again, tasteful. Exactly. I shouldn't bounce my head like that. That'll just that'll go against my point. But yeah. It's okay. I intend to avoid the classic VTuber trope of 2.0 model, inflate the titties. No. Titties stay this size. We don't need triple Zs that I can wield like fucking maces. We do not need them. This is an unnecessary weapon. No. Two-third version of the little critter. I mean, I have been thinking about having a little Cobral bean. With the bean cat. Well, take a similar looking creature, use my color scheme on it, give it a halo, give it little wings, the Cobral bean. We could do it. Call it my cherub, or something like that. It's definitely been on my plans. So, certainly could be a thing I do at some point. I've got a list going down, but no, he's fine. He's fine. Don't listen. The bean cat's all right. The bean cat's just fine. If you want the canonical answer, bean cat is very far in the past, and is the beloved pet of my wolf girl model. So be over Halo. Exactly, went to heaven. Exactly. See, my headcanon is my bean cat is the beloved pet of the mafia boss, me. The most beloved of the family. Has his own little suit and everything. Little set of sunglasses made just for him. And is the most defended of the family, of course. Being the most precious thing. But yes, the Cobral bean at some point we'll make it so. Can't say when. At some point we'll do it. Either when I want to be small and squishy every so often, or as a little mascot for you guys. Like maybe I just put him in the corner and see if I can get one of those like TTS things working for him, or something like that. It's an idea. Or as I say, if I want to be squish. Because, sometimes you just want to be small. Over the Xbox app recently and downloaded Modern Warfare 3 based. Because it's this. But on console when it came out, open. What? What kind of Activision chicanery is this? Actual chicanery? Wait, did Activision shut down the old servers? I'm trying to remember now. I swear they shut down the old servers at some point. Because someone pointed out half of them are hacked. I know for some games they did. Oh, did they? Okay. It's just PC they fucked over. Yeah, because I remember on PC they definitely yeah, because all the hackers on there, because it's riddled. Yep. rip a lot of those third-party clients as soon as Activision finds out about them, because for some reason the billion-dollar corporation wants to gatekeep you playing their older titles. Like honestly, it's kind of ridiculous. Even like on a private game, who was it now? Was it? I forget who it was now. Someone was playing Advanced Warfare, right? They were playing Advanced Warfare, and it was in private game, right? It was completely private, no one else. One of the people there got a bit of malware on their device in like the 20 minutes they play the PvP game. Like, that's how fucked the clients are there. That even client side, you're not safe. So yeah, as you say, third-party clients like the only safe way because they have modern like stuff. Exactly, man. That's why, yeah. Oh yeah, fucker was on malware bites in seconds, but like, I don't think anything bad came of it. I swear a rat attempted to install itself or some bullshit like that. Something bad. I mean, that's the thing. Some use like rats on there and stuff. Now, to explain a little bit, remote. I think it's like a remote access something, remote admin something, remote admin terminal or something like that. Basically, it lets someone control your device, like they're an admin. And it's absolutely terrifying. And it's just like, why wouldn't Activision at least, I don't know, like, even if I had to like use oh, I forget the name of it now, but I remember there was like a multiplayer kind of little server you could create that you could link people with and make a little network. You had to use that instead. That'd be probably better. Oh yeah, 100% of the pros and cons there. 100%. That's it's the beauty and the curse of PC. On PC, we get everything a console gets and so much more, and especially with the PS4 Pro, PS5 Pro, whatever it is. Don't buy that thing, by the way, folks. Especially if you're in the UK, you're getting shafted anyway by the up cost that they've done. But like, holy shit. Not worth. Just buy a PC. Just buy a PC. But like, that is something you gotta watch. Like, PC also doesn't have the same safety nets as consoles, right? You can just go onto the open net and do what you want. Oh yeah, and that's fair enough. And hey, you know the funny thing is for you? If you decide you want to switch between PC and console, you can. Because if you have Game Pass, you can use it on both. If you've got a game downloaded that works on both, you can use it on both. I can enjoy Halo Wars 2 on my PC now because I owned it on console. Which is beautiful. I think I had to rebuy the game, but I had the DLC still because I bought it on the console, so I didn't play it. I pick it up. Fair enough. Fair enough. But exactly, you can enjoy doing that though. You can just log in. You have them games, and Microsoft's even put stuff on Steam now. You can play Master Chief Collection on Steam. You can play the newest Halo on Steam. Halo kind of depresses me when I think about it because, God, that used to be something else. Ah, fair enough. Like, as I say, there's a lot of good things for you, especially if you play Xbox games, because a lot do come over. The bad thing is, you have the unfiltered internet. And you really do have the unfiltered internet. Unless you live in, China, then, or Russia in this in time, you have the internet bare before you. And, wide-eyed Timmy's about to go face first into some horror. Because the internet nowadays is a mess. But for 11, it's just... Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I mean, hey, that exactly. Right? You can get a little taste of what you want, and then when you're done, you can go something else. That is the advantage. I'm not as big on it because I'm an old head and I like to own my games, but I completely respect the idea of like, hey, I'm not going to play this game much beyond a certain amount. I don't want to buy the full game, but if I have a subscription, I can play the game for a bit. And if it's a game you're going to play a lot, but you want to own it, you can try it on Game Pass or something like that. Figure out if you like it, and either keep playing it through that or buy it. You know, you've got that option. And as long as you still have Game Pass, the game's not going anywhere. So that's how I see it. Like, I can see the advantages, definitely, and you know, it's better than other alternatives. I mean, the other thing the PC gets is we can play online without having to pay money. This is great, except for internet. Yeah, I mean that exactly. It's fair enough. Like, you try it, and you have the ability to play it as long as you want. It's even better than a demo or a trial because you've got that. Oh, excuse me. Yawning myself off it. Well, you know, it's... Oh yeah. It is genuine. That's just the way things are going, isn't it? Like, they're going the way PC gone a long time ago. Like, my original PC had room for a CD drive, right? Like, I had a Blu-ray rewriter. My current one, you can't fit one. You cannot fit it anywhere. There's no room for it in the case. But my old one had a little section for like multiple CD readers. It was great. I still have the case actually. I need to get rid of it at some point. I think so, to be honest. I think you're right. Because, especially on console, you really do not own your games. Not really. PC, you do for the most part. Hell, you can copy the file somewhere else and just ignore Steam if you really want. Like, you can get around the whole Steam thing very easily. But console? No. Oh yeah, if it has DRM, you're fucked. But then, if a game's using DRM, it's fucked because there's always you can crack it. Thankfully, people are using DRM less and less, like Denuvo especially. Like, holy fuck, get that shit out of there. But yeah, I get why DRM exists, but like it just doesn't work. Like, the best way to deal with piracy, and I'll be completely honest, price it accordingly. Like, price it properly. Like, if you notice, I don't know, like, I think Pirate Software showed this off. Like, his game, people from Brazil were pirating it. He adjusted the price to be better for Brazil, and boom, they weren't pirating anymore. Because the game was just way better. It was way cheaper for them, you know, it was just... And that's how you fix piracy. Hell, Netflix fixed piracy for the longest time. Pirate Bay was on its last legs because of Netflix when it first came out. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, for God's sake, a random guy in his basement made a game that outsold Call of Duty. You know, Lethal Company outsold COD. If you'd have told me a random indie game made by a single developer was going to outsell Call of Duty 10 years ago, I'd have said you're on cocaine. Or something far stronger. Now, I believe you. Yeah, exactly. I think the thing is, it's someone who had a creative new idea versus a rehashed idea that's been done to death. Because the problem with Activision and a lot of these AAAs is they just play it safe. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing, they were playing it too safe. And then when it didn't do very well, compared to games like that, for many, that's the wake-up call. That AAA gaming is not what it used to be. and it really does need to be just, they need to look at it properly. Honestly, yeah, Black Ops always tends to do well. Treyarch seems to have a finger on the pulse quite a bit when they're making Call of Duty. They have, you know, the dolphin dive, which they've all adopted at this point, but, you know, all the things they revolutionized the zombies mode in particular. That was phenomenal. But the multiplayer as well, just the gameplay was just better. World at War. I fucking loved World at War. That was such an amazing Call of Duty game. It probably is. It probably, honest to God, it's probably going to do fantastically. Black Ops 6 is going to go off like a bomb, and it'll be amazing. It will... I'd be surprised if it did badly, honestly. I'm shocked we got to Black Ops 6 now. I didn't even remember 5 completely. I vaguely remember 4. So... was it Cold War? Okay. I was going to say which one was Black Ops 5. Cold War's interesting. The only thing I worry with Call of Duty is they focus a lot now on the Battle Royale mode. Which, their Battle Royale mode, is not bad. By Battle Royale standards, it's pretty good. The problem... I think Battle Royale is starting to get a bit stale. A little bit. Like, even Epic have admitted Fortnite won't keep them afloat forever. That's why the store exists. And the good part is Rebirth. Don't want to hear it. Fair. Honestly. That's the thing. It just... I think the Battle Royale setup, it's been done and done and done to the point where there's not much else you can do with it, I think. Like, Fortnite took away building. It took away a mechanic that made it unique to try and make something different. Oh yeah, but like, it's had its heyday. It's done, like, for a niche of content, it's done very well. You know? There's a reason it took a game like Valorant, which tapped into that CSGO market, right? In that same kind of way. And CSGO was massive back in its day. But there's a reason a game like Valorant could walk in and do that. Was because it took the hero shooter, from Overwatch, and the gameplay like CSGO, squished that together, you got a winning formula. Exactly, and that's weirdly worked out for them. When I first heard zero build was a thing, I was weirdly surprised. I was like, what? Then what makes Fallout any different? But it works. It works, and it's something you can dip your toes into between the two. And that works for them. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Battle Royale's going anywhere anytime soon. But I do think, as time goes on, we're not going to see many come out, because Battle Royale has the same problem MOBAs have. You can only do the formula so many ways before it's been done to death. Like MOBAs, you've got League of Legends, you've got Dota, and that's it. Like, you've got others, sure, like Smite, and a few others coming around, but like, it's just two. Your big Shaq's in Fortnite now? God damn. But he's huge. His hitbox is going to be like half the map. I feel like you want a small guy, surely. A small hitbox. Maybe a little fella. You're going to see Shaq over a building. There you go. Maybe his mess is in build mode, you know, when you build the shield yourself, you know. I remember looking at some Fortnite gameplay the other day, actually, and I was just so confused what the hell's going on. I think they had like the Marvel weapons and stuff, like Iron Man's hands and that kind of shit. I was just like, what is going on here? I think, what was the last one I played? Like, Battle Royale. It wasn't PUBG. That was a long time ago. Oh. I remember one like okay, you could sled. That was the mechanic. You could sled. When they added Daryl from to the Winter Card, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah, they keep like bringing stuff over. It's interesting. It's a interesting evolution of the Call of Duty formula. It's better than it used to be, where you'd lose everything between games. Don't get me wrong, I like that. That's a good change. I'm just glad that they're trying to do something different and not just like jump on the trend of like when everyone was trying to make a World War era game because everyone was sick of like the Titanfall knockoffs everyone was doing. God, Titanfall was. I will still laud Titanfall's multiplayer as a really fun multiplayer. A lot of people say Titanfall 2. I wish the Titans were less squishy. This is my only complaint with that one. Any mood World War 2 content? Yeah. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Modern Warfare. Oh, is it just not? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I assume they were going to carry it on to the next one. Damn. I guess different engines, so it's hard to, but... Oh. It's a bit of a blow. I guess Warzone's continuing, but still. We'll get my knees and pre mix up. Oh, like, when I heard Apex was the thing, I was like, oh shit, they're making a Titanfall? Oh no, they're not. Like, don't get me wrong, Apex deserves to exist, and it's done extremely well. Like, that's defined its own little meta for itself. Like, it's... Like, I feel like, when it comes to battle... Apex is Battle Royale, I'm pretty sure. Like, Apex, again, hero shooter, Battle Royale, put them together, winning formula. Oh, did they remove arenas, did they? Oh. Interesting. Like with that, right? You've got Fortnite, you've got Apex. They're probably like the biggest battle royales, and Warzone. I suppose them three have like a stranglehold on most of the market. But they've got the MOBA problem, right? They've got these big ones that have grabbed the market and really like cemented themselves. But the rest, yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'm not quite as on the pulse with battle royales. It's not my go-to as much. I've played a few extraction shooters recently, or extraction games like was it Dungeon Born or something? What's anything in Apex now? Oh, okay. Yeah, like I've been playing. Well, I played a bit of like Dungeon Born, I think it's called, which that's like an extraction shooter but more fantastical. God, these bot accounts are really trying, aren't they? Boop. This is because it was. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got the whole vibe to it, right? I played the beta for it, and it was interesting. Some of the classes were interesting. The sword throwing one was powerful, but like, you're literally bringing extra weapons that you have to then yeet at people. That costs money. That's expensive. The rogue was pretty fun though. I like the rogue. the backstabbing and stuff. Definitely good. Oh, is this? Oh, I haven't seen this in the beta. The other one I played was Hunt Showdown. Now that one's had a few negative reviews recently because of some changes, but that game is interesting because it's not like the game. If you're really quick and speedy, that's great. Guns aren't modern guns; they're Western era guns. They're clunky. They're slow. You know, some of them are single shot. There's like one automatic weapon, right? And that's it. That's all you got. So, you know, you've not got like a twitch reflex, pull out your AK. You've got to like try and aim for the head, or maybe even fanfire somebody. That's like the fastest you're going to be shooting. But quite often you have these like intense duels. If you meet someone, they've done the sound like really well in that game. Like, you can get to the point where you'll know someone's shooting at you from like across the map, or shooting at someone. You'll hear this like clip, like this like ping from the distance, like a gunshot, and you'll hear it just echo across the place. And it's recorded so nicely. But I will say, it is the only game I can play, and I genuinely feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack any minute. It gets so intense. And it's like horror-esque as well. Which, by the way, speaking of horror, happy spooky month, everyone. I know it's not Halloween proper yet, but it is the spooky month. But like, it has like such a interesting aesthetic, right? This kind of corrupt western, where the bayou is just all evil and all the corrupted zombies and stuff. Was it your birthday month? Ooh. You'll have to let us know when it is. Pop a big old celebration for you. Dare I ask, will thou reveal thy age? Will we know how old you are, my boy? Will you keep that secret to your dying breath? Thou shalt not. We shall not knoweth. Then we must assume you'll be 69 years old this year. As is the customary. And next year you should be 420 69 years old. I admit the rules. Keep moving. In all seriousness, that's perfectly fair. I merely jest. I merely joke, don't worry. You don't actually have to tell me your age, don't worry. No, you should keep yourself private. That is a good mindset to have. It's something I try and do. I'll say how old I am sometimes, like, but I won't, like, say anything identifying, right? I won't say, like, where I live, obviously, or... Oh, definitely not that, of course, but, like, or anything remotely in reference to my name, or anything like that. Exactly 5,000, exactly, 5,000 years old. And yet I still look this good. So, you know, you can study my many tips on how to look good at 5,000. But first you must buy this course. No, I'm kidding. First you must buy my course, and then sell this course to other people. Wait a minute, that's a very pyramid-sounding scheme there. God, if I ever get to that point, just shoot me in Minecraft. Don't ever let me get to that point. God, that's a dark turn if I ever get to that point. But no, definitely keep your stuff private. Like, I made sure my donation link is through a business account for PayPal, which is a pain in the arse to set up. Like, I don't know why it caused me so much grief to set up a business PayPal, but I set it up to hide myself better. It's like... I mean, bless those artists who will just ignore the fact that your personal details are right there on the payment. But I use a business account for a reason. It's just so much safer. And it costs you nothing to have one. It's a bit of a nuisance to set up at first, but honestly, worth it. Means my PayPal is secure. Excuse me. And, it's just... I mean, yeah. I do it just for stuff, on it. Yeah, it's one of them. Look, it's the internet. It is big, it is vast, it is dark, and it is terrifying. The last thing you want is someone at your doorstep at 3 AM drooling on your door handle like a maniac. No one wants that. No one wants to find the California, not as I say California, the Florida man crackhead, just there at your door. You don't want that. I don't want that. So, hence, we avoid this by being nice and, shit, try catching me awake at 3. It's okay. I can wake myself up at 3 AM all by myself. One of the rare times where I dream and it's something bad. I think, was it last night I randomly thought there was a wasp buzzing in my ear? Because I was dreaming about a wasp buzzing in my ear. And then I woke up and I was like, what? Why? The brain is a lethal weapon against yourself and others. Then again, I've not been sleeping properly the last few days, so that probably isn't helping. I have been a very EP angel. I need to recharge. This isn't the case, but sometimes I jokingly think that do I need to plug in? Would I need there's a wall mount? Got to turn the Halo off at night. Oh, that's reminded me of that really cute little comic of I think it was a little cute little Arknights comic. I think Exusia was going the land ship, so Texas has a little nightlight with a halo on it. It was fucking cute. That reminded me. Some of them fuckers on Reddit sussed me out very quickly. They were like, wait a minute, are those Sancta wings? I was like, shit. You realise what inspired me. Some of them knew. They were onto me. Which... small world, I guess. Small world. At least it feels very small sometimes. The joys of being online all the time. That the world doesn't feel so small. I seem to have encountered all kinds of people from all kinds of places. And I'd say 99% of you are all wonderful, by the way. There you go, I can be nice. I can be nice to you all sometimes. It's weird, right? Like, you look at a certain place like Twitter, for example, hellish as it might be, Oh, hello, Nyatia. How you doing, my friend? Sneaking on in. How are we doing? Hopefully the camera situation's sorted. Fingers crossed for you. I don't know if your new one's arrived yet, but hopefully it's very soon to be upon you. So you may return to the moving world. If I could, I'd have to send you mine, but I know you're already getting one in the post, so hopefully. Yeah, no worries, Eunice, you go feed your hungy. Oh, is it not come yet? Ah, damn. Well, it'll get there soon. It'll get there soon, right? Yeah, exactly, right? By the time it gets there, you'll have your model ready, and then you can get all to the joys of... am I right in thinking it's a Live 2D one? To get the joys of learning Live 2D. As in learning, it's not that... Live 2D's not that bad, honestly. Over time, it's pretty simple for me. Made a Fuji PNG for... Nice, nice. Anyway, you get a little something. Yeah, I've not got a horror outfit prepared yet. Tragically. I know I've seen a lot of people have that one pumpkin one everyone's got, but there is a part of me. I've thought about this, actually. of like a Bloodborne outfit or something like that, like a Bloodborne hunter. That'd be pretty cool. I also just really like Bloodborne. I would probably suck at it, but I fucking love Bloodborne. Honestly, I would honestly make a concerted effort to get good at that game. If it ever came out. If Sony actually grant my wish, giving me Bloodborne Remastered on the PC, please, Gib. Although you can emulate now, though. Emulation is an option, so that is possible. But scares me. But still, maybe one day. And then that's a good spooky bit of Bloodborne. I think I might play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline. Ooh, a very nice choice. That's a classic, that is. It's a shame the sequel will never be anywhere near what it was. That is one thing that is a tragedy of the sequel. But Masquerade Bloodlines was something else. I really wish the sequel was up to par with it, because it deserves that, like, recognition. The vampire setting is so cool. Like the is it Dark World setting or something like that? I forget what they call it now, but it's such a cool setting. And I genuinely wish it was a thing. Like, more. Like, it was like there's more stuff around it. It's just such a cool setting. And Bloodlines, hell, if they remastered Bloodlines and brought it out with, like, modern fidelity, holy shit. That would be something else. I'd play that. Hell, I'd be tempted to play the old one, honestly, at some points. I mean, a fine choice for the spooky season, my friend. A fine choice. Honestly, it's a classic for a reason, and it's earned its accolades. And there's just so much to it. I just think it was ahead of its time. Well and truly, it was ahead of its time. I could gush about my enjoyment for the setting to no end, honestly. Oh, yeah, probably needs a new engine. Like, it needs something a bit more modern. It would probably be quite a substantial, like, remaster. It'd probably be closer to a remake of the amount of work they have to do, but... Oh yeah, it's old, right? It's definitely an old game, but there's a lot of good community mods knocking around for it. It also has some of, like, the most scariest bits in gaming, so I hear. It's like one mansion where, like, it's just terrifying. There's even mods that let you skip it, because of how terrifying it is. Like, they made it that well. And the thing is, they get so much right. Like, I don't know... Yeah, the hotel, that's the one, the hotel. Hey, hey, you've got that coming. Not long now, my friend, not long now. I think you're literally counting down the days. But, literally, the way they did, like, Bloodlines, right? Yeah, exactly. I see it. I load up Discord and go, oh, we're close now. It's the second quest. God, that's the second quest of the story. Jesus. Yeah, like, it's... The thing is, right, the way they do Masquerade, like, Bloodlines, is just done so close to the tabletop RPG. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the tabletop RPG for Vampire Masquerade, but it's like, it's so dark, and when done properly, fucking hell. Like, it is equally, you play as an absolute monster, and as a completely, like, helpless victim. Like, you're playing a monster. Like, they don't hide it. You're a blood-drinking, murderous monster that sees people as meat. That's to be drank and used and manipulated for own games. Like, even the nicest vampire still looks at you like a blood bag when you're a human. But also, you are completely enslaved to your addiction. Because you're essentially a crack addict. You're an addict, but for blood. You gotta drink. If you don't drink, You go feral. First they give you a high by putting you up against some drug dealers, and then they send you... Oh yeah, that's... And the thing is, that works. Because it shows you you're powerful, and if someone shoots you while you're a vampire, it ain't gonna do anything. That bullet better be silvered and blessed, or it's gonna do nothing. Like, even a stake ain't gonna kill you, it's gonna stun you for a bit. But, you know, there's also so many things in that world that are way more dangerous than a vampire could dream of being. Like, oh yeah, I mean, silver bullets, yeah. Silver bullets could fuck you up massively. The sun, if the sun even gets on you, fucked. And here's the thing, like, a werewolf in full war form? No, that thing's killing you. That thing's killing you so quickly, it's not even funny. No regeneration's gonna save your ass from that thing. Mages? I've seen different things, right? I've seen, like, some people like silver can be effective against, like, unholy things, but yeah, it's mostly a werewolf thing. But, like, werewolves are also just completely anathema to vampires. But you've got... Yeah, I mean, hell, you could have that as a weakness. I think silver could be a weakness to you. But, like, mages in that setting could just look at you. A high-level mage? No, a vampire stands no chance. It's actually kind of goofy, the kind of stuff a mage can pull off. That fucker can look at a powerful vampire, snap of the fingers, that fucker's inside out. Now, don't get me wrong, there are vampire mages too, and they can be terrifying. But they're very rare. I would say if you want a good impression of the vampire setting, Hunter the Parenting, done by the same guys who made If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device, is an amazing setting. So here's the thing. By default, in Vampire Masquerade, you are not weak to garlic. However, you can take a thing called, like, storybook weaknesses, and you can choose garlic to be that weakness. I think it affects other things too, but, like, running water and all the other, like, myth things that are a weakness to vampires could be your weakness. As, like, a flaw you've inherited in your bloodline. That can be a thing. Because a big part of the vampire that you play as is, like, their lineage. You actually do a bit of work with the storyteller, as they call them, the GM, to, like, figure out who sired you, who brought you into this world of madness. Oh, there's also... Oh, yes, that's a good one. I've not seen it for a while, but yeah, that one was interesting. You're playing a doctor, I believe, aren't you? Which is very interesting to me, because obviously you've got to balance the fact you're playing a blood-drinking monster with a Hippocratic Oath. You're not supposed to harm people, but you're gonna. Possibly. And your choices will affect various things in the game. I like that. That is pretty cool. And it's in the Victorian era, which is a perfect time for vampire stuff, I think. Like, Masquerade's strange because it does it in modern time. Ooh, Van Helsing's good stuff, man. Van Helsing movies are also my favourites. The one with, what's his name? The fellow who plays Wolverine? Hugh Jackman. That's it. Hugh Jackman was in it, I think. Yeah, the Van Helsing movies. It's campy in ways, but it's fucking good. I enjoy it every so often, you know. It is some quality stuff. I think they did make a tie-in game for it a bit ago. But I don't know, I always like that, like, I don't know, there's something really cool about just the whole, like, secret society of church hunters just fighting just various monstrosities out there. The Lost Boy. Ooh. It's been a while since I've heard that one. Yeah, that's a good choice. I can't say I've watched it, I don't think, but it's been a while. I also have heard that name. I feel like if I was to search it, I'd recognise it though. I think, at least anyway. It's been a hot minute. We've been quite starved for good, like, vampire movies, haven't we? Ah, yeah, Lost Boys. Yeah, no, I recognise that one. Yeah, I recognise that one. But it's been so long, hasn't it? We had, like, good stuff, like the Underworld series, movies like that. Lost Boys, there's some, like, older stuff, but there's not many newer vampire movies. It's the tragedy that Twilight kind of ruined vampires for a lot of people. Not just Twilight, but Twilight was one of the big ones that kind of, like, ruined it for a lot of people. I'm not saying Twilight's bad, you can enjoy it if you want, but for a lot of people it definitely ruined vampires for people a bit. 1929? Is that when Nosferatu came out? I thought that's when Nosferatu came out, wasn't it? That was a complete guess. That was a complete guess, I'll be completely honest. I'm not, like, super versed in horror movies, but I know when some big ones came out. A lot of good ones in the 70s, I think. That was a big time for them. 70s and 80s. I don't know, I think we lost touch a little bit with that good old horror. Doesn't help that we rely on jump scares too much now. There's no, like, tension. There's no, like, I don't know. Oh yeah, exactly. Like, pre-2000 slasher movies, they had a jump scare, sure, but it wasn't the main crutch. You were terrified before they jumped. The jump was just the final gasp, you know? But that tension, you know, that classic bit of, like, there's a difference between horror and terror, right? There's, like, it's why, like, I think as I've gotten older, and maybe this is me just getting old, call me old if you want, but part of me has found, like, books have done a little bit better at getting a reaction out of me. You know? Or, like, especially like audio stuff, like listening to, like, I mean, I'm an audio type of person, I like listening to stuff. Like a good, like, horror, like a good horror book done well. I don't know. Or like just, it's hard to describe it, but like as I've gotten older, I think I've found myself appreciating like that sort of stuff more. Because like I think it's easier because it makes your mind do the work. Like it's really hard to do horror in like a tabletop setting because obviously there's all sorts of people there. But I think anything where your mind has to fill in the blanks, that's terrifying. Speaking of books, finally getting into the next book. Ooh, nice. Batman the Ultimate Evil. Very nice, very nice. A fine choice there, sir. Yeah, like, I don't know, I'm not a massive reader, but audiobooks, I'm all over audiobooks. If I can get it in audio form, I love it. At some point, I need to finish reading the Mistborn stuff. Yeah, especially, I think comics have been very hit and miss recently, have they? Like, there's been some really good ones, and then there's been some really not good ones. Whereas I think the novels have kind of stood the test of time quite nicely. Oh, those are good choices. Those are good choices there. You know, one showing him starting off, the other perhaps one of his greatest like threats. You know, they're up. The Court of the Owls are up there. It's been a while, but I remember a lot of good old Batman stuff, and it's not often you see the Court of the Owls. It's a real shame they never showed up in the Batman Arkham series. God, that was... Speaking of... Right, the Batman Arkham series. I've been reminded of it now. Holy shit. that with some of the really good comics, and obviously the Dark Knight trilogy. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. DC might have had a lot of flops, but I tell you what, they had a lot of good Batman ones. Really good Batman games. Damn. That is a hell of it. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, imagine, especially the third game, right? With the scale the third game does, that would be like, that would be something else. With the kind of scale and fidelity of the third game, and deal with the Court of the Owls, they feel like they'd be the right size of threat as well for a game that big. Because they just had that with them. Yeah. Honestly, that's fair. I will say this, it's a shame we'll probably, like, I'm pretty sure that tragically, rest in peace to the fella, the voice actor for Batman from the Arkham series sadly is no longer with us. And that's a loss. We've lost some good VAs recently. That one's one of them. Holy fuck. His last work, I think, was the Justice League game, which, that's fucking tragic. His last work should have been a fucking good game, goddammit. So I always like to think back to his Batman Arkham games. With, of course, the fucking best Joker. Hands down, the best non-live action Joker. I know, it's fucking... We're getting old, man. We're getting old. I mean, what's... You played Destiny 2, right, Judas? Or am I thinking someone else? Someone around me who's played Destiny 2 a bunch. You know the guy who used to be the voice actor for Zavala? That guy. I forget his name, but rest in peace to that guy as well. Like, that was he was a phenomenal voice actor. Phenomenal voice actor. Like, holy shit. And he was also in Mighty 9 as well. The animation they did for that campaign. He was like the main villain. And he did such a damn good job. Which one was Robbie? I feel like I recognise that name. Where have I heard that name? I'm gonna suss it out. Oh shit, him! Holy fuck. Holy shit. Now I reckon I didn't recognise his face before, but God. Yeah, he was Hagrid. Yeah, fucking hell. Damn, that is a genuine sad loss as well. He played such a good Hagrid. Like, I'm not gonna sit and say I read the novels, but I enjoyed the films. I'm sure someone will crucify me for saying that, but I enjoyed the films, alright? When I was younger, I enjoyed them films. And Hagrid was I enjoyed Hagrid on screen. God fucking damn it. That was good stuff. Damn. Yeah, I can only hope that they've left a big enough legacy that someone else could look at their example and continue it on. You know. I hope that the craft of acting hasn't died with them, if that makes sense. I think that's... I know, man, I know. Don't worry, we'll change topic, I know. Well, I think the last thing I'll say on it is, I hope that with people like that what they've left behind is hopefully something that'll last the test of time and not be forgotten, but also I'm hoping something that someone else who wants to become an actor will try and live up to, so that we don't lose that quality of craft, that care they put into it. You know, that kind of, legacy, I suppose. And I think I guess the beautiful thing, right, because they were actors on screen, they're never forgotten. They're forgotten, right? Never gone, truly, because in a way they're always there. Not the same, but they are there in a way. Oh god, yeah, no. When that terrifying day comes, yeah. Hamill, he's been places. If you'd have told me that Luke Skywalker would voice the best Joker I've ever heard, I would laugh at you. But god damn it, he did. We may never hear it again, but outside of replaying the games, but god, that was such a good Joker. I would argue that's still one of his best roles. Like, he has grown as an actor immensely. And it shows. It really shows. But he's looking somewhat healthy, so we've got a while left for him yet. Oh god, well, yeah, I mean, we watched a lot of them grow up, don't forget. We kind of grew up with them. Like, I don't think a lot of them are much older than me, really. So, yeah, a lot of the older ones, especially, yeah, no, it's that weird thing. It's when you know you're getting older, I think. And I think, and I'll change subjects a bit more light-hearted in a minute, but I think one of the hardest things to accept when growing older is the change that inevitably happens. That is, for me, one of the hardest parts. God, yeah, Maggie Smith, again, another really good actress. Really, really talented. And just, from what I hear, generally a nice person as well, which is an even bigger deal. But rest in peace to them too. But yeah, it's the time must move on, I suppose. But as I like to always think, time must move, but memory can last if done right. And I think all those people we've mentioned before there, they won't be forgotten. You might go, who's that a second? Look up their name. It's them. And you'll remember them immediately. Like, at worst, it might take a second just to go, who's that again? And then you remember them. As soon as you see something about them, you go, oh yeah, I remember them now. You always remember them, even if it's like you take a second. And I think that's all you can ask for, really, isn't it? That to be remembered in a very sappy way. That's something you always ask for. Exactly, right. As much as Hollywood producers are trying to ruin it, and they fucking are trying to ruin it, because they're uninventive, the original ones that we all loved are still there, still accessible, and we can still enjoy them to this day. So, we've got that still. We still got that. Which is the main thing, I think. Exactly. It's like seeing an old friend. That's how I see it. Oh god, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the newest. I wanted to like it. I did. I gave it a try, but I just couldn't be asked to watch the last one. I watched the first two of the new trilogy, and the last one I was like, no. I just couldn't. It was just, I don't know. what bothered me the most about the new, like how they went with Star Wars, right, is they decanonized all of the Old Republic and all of the new, like, the new timeline. Oh yeah, Mando did a good job at, like, trying to preserve some stuff. The series did alright jobs at it. But some of the other stuff, oh god. And some of the later series of, yeah, no. It's a shame because we've got, like, Star Wars The Old Republic, which is amazing. We've got excuse me. We've got, like, the books and comics take place after as well. The extended universe. Exactly, like the extended universe was incredible. The Old Republic with the Sith Empire at its prime. We only heard legends about it, and now you get to see these ridiculous fucking Sith who can blow up suns in some cases, just waltz around and do shit, and it's like, that's cool as fuck to me. You know, you got the Sith Emperor who makes Palpatine look like a joke. Darth Revan, who's lived in the Jedi, became a Sith, died and lived again. Like, fucker is just incredible. Darth Bane, who actually made the Sith what they were for a while. Oh yeah, I mean, Lego Star Wars has been a very good thing for it. There's a lot of people who have seen it. You know, like, hats off to Lego. They've done an amazing job of, like, introducing people to it. Hey there, Felix 498. Yeah, Lego's they've done a good job, man. They have. Oh yeah, Lego Indiana Jones. Jesus, that's been a while since I remember hearing about that one. God, yeah. I remember having a lot of fun with the was it Lego Pirates of the Caribbean? That was a good Lego game, actually. That was fun. That was genuinely fun. Like, holy shit. Oh, Lego. Yep, Lego Lord of the Rings. Speaking of stuff that needs more, but in the right way, Lord of the Rings. It's tragic how little that had gotten for so long. Being as it is, in my opinion, the grandfather of all Western fantasy. Oh, the Gollum game. God, that was an insult. The Gollum game was so bad. And then, I've heard very mixed things about Rings of Power. I've not watched it myself, so I've not got my own opinion yet, but I've heard very mixed things about it. But Lord of the Rings, I don't know. There's a strategy game that I really like from it that you can't buy anymore because of licensing shit. I wish they'd bring it back because that looked really cool. It's a pain in the neck to find it these days, especially the Witch King expansion. You got Games Workshop doing stuff with the tabletop of it, which is interesting. And it's funny, right? Because, you know me, I'm a big Warhammer fan, right? I love Warhammer. But I will not deny Warhammer Fantasy has a lot of heavily, like, reference stuff to Tolkien. For God's sake, the High Elves live on their own little island unto themselves. With their, aloof white buildings and stuff. Very much like the elves in Lord of the Rings. The Wood Elves, again. Like the elves in the woods in Lord of the Rings. They've got a lot of similarities, right? Orcs, originally, were a lot more based off Lord of the Rings orcs, then they made them like football hooligans. Like, Lord of the Rings is objectively the ancestor to basically all fantasy in the West. Like, in the East, it's got a few different things that you can definitely pull from with them. Journey to the West, in particular for them, is a big one, I believe. Obviously, you've got Black Myth Wukong, that's really showed off that mythology. It's a shame Lord of the Rings doesn't get like a game of the same caliber. I guess it's hard for it because in many ways Lord of the Rings doesn't have that same flashiness, but oh yeah, I agree with that as well. It's why I like Hunt Showdown, because it's a cowboy game. It's set in that era, but like fantastical. But like it feels so like grimy and gritty and in the times. Even the more fantastical elements feel that dirty grunge that you expect from the period. And all the monsters again fit that. But yeah, we need more stuff like that. You got Red Dead. That's about it. Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of old cowboy movies as well. Like, I know, like, my dad liked to watch quite a few of those. Yeah, from the black and whites, some of the ones that came out later. It's weird, it kind of just fell off in a respect. Like, the Lone Ranger, that kind of stuff, it was all around back then. But it kind of just fell off in a way. I don't know if they'd ever redo it again now in the same way. Oh yeah, spaghetti westerns are fucking quality. I'm not gonna say westerns like my, first pick, but I like them. And when they're done well, I really appreciate them. Like, settings that incorporate, the idea of, the Wild West. Love that stuff. Because it's always interesting how they incorporate everything into it. And when done properly, it works so nicely. Like, it feels organic. Like, that untamed land that's, doesn't, the land itself's almost a character, because it doesn't want to be tamed, but the march of progress still comes, And you see it many times, like, before railways and all that sort of thing, you've got these, distant towns, and anything could happen to them. And no one would know, because there's, fax, if that? If that was even invented then? I don't think fax was even then. Long-range communications, that was someone on a horse riding as fast as they bloody could. If they ever make it. So just so much stuff you can do. But it's just really unexplored. Which I think is a tragedy, really. Oh yeah. The printing press is a funny one. It's a funny one, the printing press. Because the church fucking hated it. It despised the printing press. It's where modern media was invented from in many respects. You can thank the printing press for the media's existence. Because without it, newspapers would never have been a thing. And things printed that weren't just Bibles wouldn't be a thing either. Because all the old Bibles were handwritten. The printing press changed that forever. To be fair, the printing press also led to, a lot of the media types, right? You could argue it ended up... it's in a very long way, roundabout way, created a lot of the things we have now. For better or for worse. We have the media, for better or for worse. For worse in the case of some of them. Like the BBC. I don't have to talk nice things about it. They charge taxation. It's dumb. But also, in a way, it leads to, film, and that kind of media, and later inspired, stuff in the internet age, right? It's a small thing in comparison now, but when it was a thing, when it first popped on the field, revolutionary. It's a little thing, but it's done a lot of big things. It's why quite often, like the Civ games, they make it quite a big deal, because it is. You know, you can essentially just take any bit of text and print it. That was a huge thing. Obviously nowadays it's you just take a fucking printer, but again, printing press inspired all that shit. So love it or hate it, it's probably somewhat responsible for our modern society. Again, for better or for worse. I wasn't expecting to do a mild history lecture about the printing press. Here we go. I am admittedly a bit of a history nerd, if you couldn't tell. I'm always up for learning history stuff. I might go and verify it, of course, but you know, I always like those the stories of especially. I'm always really fascinated by World War era stories. Oh yeah, there's just something about hearing this crazy thing that happened in history, be it a big change in an empire, the story of an empire, right? You'll hear about the Roman Empire, or even closer to home, the old British Empire back in the day. Or you've got these big figures that are larger than life, Alexander the Great. Or even small shit, right? A random person in their insane story, the World War era. You hear about these figures that just sound like myth now. In Finland, you've got fucking White Death, they used to call him. That sniper that has the most kills of any sniper ever. And was only stopped by a stray bullet going in his eye. Or in his face, I think it was. Didn't even kill him. He lives a natural long life. But he basically held off the Russians. They were too terrified to advance. No one wants to put their head over the trench in case he shot them. You know? It's a small story about one individual, but it just sounds larger than life. And there's others, but I can't think off the top of my head now. Or just some insane ones. If you're familiar with, I think it's Sabaton has the Dead Men on their songs. That is inspired off a horrific but morbidly interesting tale. I won't go too far into it in case any of you are eating, but let's just say some guys got hit by a pretty nasty gas attack. We're talking, in cartoons where you see a mist hit a flower and it just wilts and birds just drop out the sky. Unironically, that strong. Unironically. Folks are hit with it and decide they're going to go out in the blaze of glory. So, they had no gas masks. I think it was a mix of chlorine and bromine, basically. The Germans deployed on them. Brutal shit. They had no gas masks, so these soldiers, basically, after a while, the ones who survived long enough to be able to stand and wield a weapon, they charged. They opened the fortress and charged. And as far as the Germans were concerned, the fucking dead had gotten back up to kill them. And they were terrified. As you would be if you watched a man look like a corpse running at you screaming. Spitting out bits of lung at you. These fuckers, they made the whole lot rout. They made the entire line rout. Then went back into the fortress, scuttled the place, so it was worthless to them. They all perished because no one was surviving that shit. They were literally melted from the inside out. But holy shit. Holy shit. To say they were remembered would be an understatement. I think they were Russian soldiers back in the First World War, I believe. You can find the story quite all over the place, but it just gives you visions, right? I don't know, it inspires my mind a bit. I definitely didn't very nearly look at converting an Imperial Guard force into the Dead Men. Give them that zombie-looking appearance. a big whole army out of them. That definitely didn't cross my mind. Not at all. I think Count Dankin's got a pretty good video on it, but there's a few others knocking around. You ever want to look into that, but it's... I don't know. It's like, it's a small little story, right? But it just sounds fucking awesome. And that's like... Now, I imagine some details may be embellished a smidge. Possibly. I think there was some like written account from the time. But... yeah, like it's just... Those are just crazy shit. It's one of those funny things where you remember that... you might not be superhuman, but... the human body can do some crazy things when it wants to. It can survive some bullshit. You know, when your plot armor's thick enough for a while. Like, god damn. So, never doubt yourself. You never know. You might pull some crazy shit. Oh yeah, like... It don't want to go out. It don't want to shut off the lights. That thing want to keep going. And by god, it will do things. Like, it will do things that you don't think you can do, but it will do them. It damn well will do them, let me tell you. No ands, ifs, or buts. So, TLDR, you can do whatever you put your mind to. You don't have to be a living dead man, though. It's okay. You can avoid doing that. We thankfully live in an age where that isn't a thing needed. At least I don't think it is. Not yet, anyway. If it can stay this way or better for 100 years, I mean, this just gives a bit more time before the world sets on fire. I don't want to see the Sword of Damocles just yet. You know, I should have brought them a drink. It's a good thing this was going to be a 2-hour stream, otherwise I would have wrenched my voice something rotten. Oh. I can hear it. I can hear it croaking. A little advice. Take care of your voice. Don't be dumb like me and decide he's going to talk for 2 hours straight and not have an extra drink on hand when his first one runs out. No, sadly, my Italian liqueur ran out. Literally today. Tragic. I was enjoying some nice Disaronno. I randomly just stumbled upon the drink on like a birthday meal and an Italian. And then ever since I was like, I'll have this every so often. At first, if one thing remember from this stream, Cabral recommends spirits. No. No, if anything remember from this stream, believe in yourself. There you go. There's a positive message. There's a positive message you can hit with. Believe in oneself. You might pull something off crazy. Meanwhile, I'm going to be here like a fucking gremlin in my room, live streaming. Like an utter degenerate. But hey, if you're enjoying it, then I'm doing something right, clearly. Somehow. In my meandering and trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. But yes, as we draw nearer the time. So obviously tomorrow we're going to be playing some Resident Evil 4 remake. This is me every day, just trying to figure out what to do. Fair enough, honestly, respect. Yeah, we're going to play some Resident Evil 4 tomorrow, which I've never played Resident Evil 4, so it should be interesting. And that's going to be our spooky game, as voted by you all in the Discord. And then, obviously, on Sunday, as again voted by all of you, we're going to be playing Rot the Unclean. The big rat-mad scientist from Warhammer. So we have lots of monstrosities. Of man and rat-made horrors. In one instance, we're going to be fighting them, in the other, wielding them. So, plenty of fun to go around, I think. Just trying to chill and find out what. Yeah. Exactly. God knows I spend far too much time to figure out what the hell I'm to do. One day I will find a way to switch off properly again. I swear, that is the only thing I will warn you if you ever decide this is something you want to do. You will never be able to switch off. You will be locked in 24/7. It is impossible to switch off. If you're really into it. It is the one big downside people don't talk about. Your brain will become very content-brained. And you'll be thinking like, what am I going to make? What am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? What am I going to stream? Constantly. What am I going to tweet? What am I going to put on Reddit? It's going to be just constant. And you're going to feel like a damn sociopath. Like, just insane mode, just trying to figure out what the hell you're doing. No one mentions that until you start. And then you realise it yourself, and you go, oh fuck, what am I doing? And I would say it gets better with time. So in my last year of experience of this, no, it does not. But maybe it will. Maybe I've not been at it long enough. Ask me again in a year. Maybe it'll have got better. Probably not. But, ask me again in a year. We might have got some progress there. I guess next year's goal will be how to get uncontent brained when I don't want to be content brained. That'll be a failed goal immediately. But I suppose counterpoint, as long as you're enjoying it, then it's okay. To not be content brained, just turn off YouTube like me. See. Judas has learned the ancient art of unplugging. It's a powerful art. I wish I could achieve it. Unfortunately, I am locked in, for better or for worse. I am what we call built incorrectly. Good old neurodivergent brain just makes everything wire funny, so neurons will not stop shooting. Or just built different. Well, yeah, built different. That's the better way to say it. Built differently. I like to joke and say I'm built wrong. But built different. Yeah. That's how you should say it to yourself. You're not built wrong. You built different. There is no wrong when you built. Because you kind of can't decide that. So you can't really be but wrong because there's no right way of doing it. Kind of how evolution works. It keeps changing, iterations and stuff. So then, you know what? It's alright to be a bit different. If everything was the same, it'd be boring. Exactly. You're not the same as someone else. So why should you try to be? Exactly. Right? You should embrace what makes you different. Because as much as many things, like, as much as, like, as you go older, you realise not everything's as special as they say. Your difference is still your difference. You're still unique because of your difference. So that is still special. Even as you get to the ripe old age of your 20s and you get called old by someone who's in their teens. Or when you're in your mid-20s and you're looking at a 20-year-old thinking, good God, they're young. Why am I so old? Enjoy your differences. Because you're all unique in your own special way, sinners. And you should appreciate that as much as I do. As much as sometimes you may feel like the weirdo in the room. God knows I'm familiar with that feeling. And on that sentimental note, I think this is where I must bid you a good night. Or a good day, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. My voice is pretty shredded, actually. I need to go have a drink in a minute. And my posture is awful, so I need to go correct that. And of course, a good night's sleep. But tomorrow, we game. But don't worry, we'll have plenty of yapping first. You know me, I am incapable of doing anything without yapping like a fucking lunatic first. So, sinners, do join me tomorrow for more fun and games. But till then, I wish you all a good night. It's ta for now, my dear sinners. It's ta for now.